Hey, it's day 2 of the Business Finance for Beginners Challenge. I'm a lot more excited about today. It's a little bit less like blah, 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 and a lot more exciting because you actually get to start putting in work. And I forgot to tell you guys to supply, but you guys will need some highlighters. My highlighters have some reason disappeared, probably from the 2 children that are in my home. So for the purpose of the training, I'm gonna use different color Sharpies. You will want a few colors, at least like 5 or 6. But you could get away with like 4 different colors. So I am gonna show you guys how to start tracking your income and expenses today. So remember, this is just the beginning phases, and eventually you will go to automation. But for right now, when your business has minimal income and minimal expenses, you don't need to go out and like spend a bunch of money on fancy software. One suggestion that I do have that is very similar to kind of what I'm using. So a couple different options. I actually have 2 options. So the expense tracker spreadsheet that I have developed is very similar to this same method, other than it uses an Excel spreadsheet and it does have some automation. I will be sure to show y'all that. Also, QuickBooks Small Business is somewhat similar. There's a little bit of automation, but if you're already kind of comfortable like navigating around technology and those kind of things, it's about $7 a month, and it's pretty easy to navigate. However, your options are very minimal, so remember that, okay? When you're purchasing, don't think you're gonna get some elaborate accounting software. It's $7 a month. It's very minimal, keeps it simple, but it does allow you that automation. If you have more expenses than what you're finding that you can track on here, and it's becoming a little bit more time consuming, this should probably take you about an hour a month. So if you're spending 2, 3, 4, 5 hours on it, it's definitely time to switch to something else and to automate the process a little bit more. Okay, so I will show you guys those options at the end of this training. So this is your expense tracker. Trying to get it where the light's not showing on there. This is your expense tracker that I provided for you guys in the comments. And I might just pull it up on the screen because the light is being a pain in my booty and wants to reflect. So you're going to want to print out at least 2 copies of this. If your printer gives you the option to print double-sided, then I would definitely try and do that if at all possible. Okay. Hope I didn't lose too many of y'all yesterday. I know that it was a little bit like blah, blah, blah. And just for the sake of this, y'all probably can tell I'm recording these all in the same day. The day 1 recording, I recorded at 6 a.m. So I'm a little bit more vibrant, been a little bit awake for a little bit longer. But because we are running multiple businesses, I wanted to make sure that you guys got the training at the same time every single day, and that I was able to do your Q&As at the same time most days, that I was able to show up at the same time pretty much every day. And I wanted to have this in your inbox first thing in the morning so you guys could watch it and then ask questions later on. So let me know what you think about that process. If you'd rather like, hey, Katie, we want the training to be live so we can ask you questions as you go. Hey, day 3, we can try it. So let me know. Okay, so this is the expense tracker spreadsheet, and it may look a little bit intimidating, but it's not meant to be that way. And you guys can really repurpose it to make it work for you if needed. So here you're going to have your date. You're going to have your account that it's paid for out of. If you're paying it out of all of the same account, then there's no reason to track that here. But if one of your business expenses is maybe paid for with your business credit card and one of yours is paid with your business debit card, then you would maybe just want to put, bank or credit. That way you know where it's paid for out of, okay? Your transaction is like who you paid. So this can be left blank, but for tax purposes, it is kind of helpful to have this filled in so you can go back and track those transactions if necessary. Okay, category. This is where the fun part comes in. This is where you're also, I need to attach it for you guys. I don't think I have. Where did I go? You're going to want your categories here. So this is where you're going to have like advertising, cost of goods, seller fees, office expenses, insurance, electricity. That's where these categories are going to go. Okay. And that's where your highlighters are going to come in. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that here in just a second. So that's what category is. And I will make sure I get you guys the checklist with what goes in what category. And we will talk about that a little bit more with the tax deductions. Okay. But for right now, I'm just kind of explaining the basics of tracking it, how to track it, what to do with them once you track them. So your first 30 days, I really want you guys to just focus on tracking every transaction. Just tracking every transaction that you have, saving receipts for them, and just trying to stay on top of actually tracking them. So building a habit. One thing that I did in the very beginning that I found very, very helpful is, like I said, we've used a notebook like this since the beginning. Ooh, I myself out with it. We used a notebook like this since the beginning. Over the years, it's evolved and it's kind of grown and it's kind of changed to what it is now. But in the beginning, we used notebook paper and we had it separated out by category. I'm going to have y'all separated out by month, but we separated ours out by category. And one thing that we would do is we would put our receipts in the little front folder until they were ready to be categorized. But because y'all are separating them out by month, you will have like your, you'll have your introduction page. And then I should have set this up for y'all so you could see. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'll take all this out of here and just set it up. So like this sleeve would be, so you would have like an expense tracker right here with a sleeve behind it. So in that sleeve that's behind it, that's where you're going to put all your receipts for that month. Does that make sense? So you're going to have your expense tracker, and that's going to go in here. You're going to punch your three little holes in it. It's going to go in here. You're also going to have your budget and those other things. So you're going to have your expense tracker here, and then you're going to have one of your clear sleeves behind it, and that's where you're going to put your receipts for that month. Okay. All right. So let's get down to, okay, Katie, how do we track our receipts and how does that actually like help us for tax time? Because I keep a bank registry or whatever. So how is this any different? Let's talk about that. How is this different? Okay. So by using the expense tracker here, or by using the expense tracker Excel spreadsheet, or by using QuickBooks, what you're doing is you're now giving those expenses a category. So those expenses now become a tax deduction, and you're going to know at tax time what category they go in for tax purposes. So let's just write some random things down on here so I can kind of show you guys the process of this. Okay, so we're going to leave account blank, and then we're going to do a Hobby Lobby. We're going to do a Joann's. We're going to do let's do a break time. I don't know if y'all have break time where you're at, but here in the Midwest, that's a gas station. And then let's do a like Staples, which is like I'm sure y'all have that. Okay, so Hobby Lobby is going to be a cost of goods sold. So we're going to do COGS, and that's cost of goods sold. Okay, Joann's is also going to be a cost of goods sold, or materials. They're all the same thing. So materials, supplies, and cost of goods sold are all the same thing. Again, different people call them different things, but for tax purposes, they're called cost of goods sold. Okay, so COGS, again, break time, that's going to be fuel for our vehicle. However, we need to track our business mileage here. So that's something we'll talk about a little bit later on as you get advanced. But for now, the purpose of this training, we're just going to track that as an expense. So I'm going to put fuel. Staples, that's going to be an office expense. Okay. And I'm just going to put $10 on all of these to make the math easy for me. Okay. So also what we're going to do. So I know this says expense tracker, but it also has a place for you to track your income. So you can track your income on this sheet, or you can track your income on the finance sheet. Typically, I say track it on this sheet and then carry it over to the finance sheet because it like has your monthly totals. So on 125, we're going to put Etsy deposit. We're going to put deposit as our category, or we're going to put income. Let's put income as our category on that. We're going to put income. And then we're going to put $100. Okay. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's kind of what it looks like. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we would have our different highlighter colors. I have mine. This is so frustrating. Okay. So cost of goods sold are going to be orange. So I would just go through and I would highlight all of my cost of goods sold orange. I would highlight all of my office expenses green. I would highlight what other colors? Oh, black, which you probably don't want to do black. All right, I'm going to highlight my fuel black. I'm going to highlight my income. Normally I like to do income as green because I think of money, but I already did some staples as that. So now what I'm going to do is say it's the end of the month. I filled up my expense tracker. I tracked all of my income and all of my expenses. So now what I'm going to do at the very top of it, so that's kind of what it's going to look like. You're going to highlight your cost of goods sold, one color. You're going to highlight your fuel, another color. You're going to highlight your office expenses, another color, and you're going to highlight your income, another color. And you're going to be consistent with this throughout the month. So you might want to put like a little like color chart. Okay, so now at the top of my expense tracker, what I'm going to do, and you guys are actually going to carry this over to your profit and loss statement. I like to write it on the top first and then carry it over. So what I do is I'll just do a cost of goods sold would be $20. My fuel would be 10. My office expenses would be 10. And my income would be 100. Okay, do y'all see how I did that? Let me go off of share screen so y'all can see that a little bit better. Y'all see how I did that? So I highlighted the color, each category, the color, and then up here at the top, I wrote what the totals of each of those were. So now when we get to our profit and loss statement at the end of the month and we're trying to figure out how much money we actually made, I can pull these numbers very quickly straight from the top. I can pull them and take them over to that profit and loss statement, okay? So I'm going to challenge you guys to track your income and expenses for 30 days. And guess what? When you check back in here in 30 days, I'm going to hold you all accountable. So you're going to print this out today. And on February 25th, I'm going to check back with you guys. Whoever has tracked their income for 30 days will be entered into a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. So in 30 days, I'm going to be checking back with y'all. So don't go nowhere. Stay right here because in 30 days, I'm going to check back. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to check in. So print off your expense tracker, show me that you've done it, and you'll get the opportunity to be entered into a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Okay? And I might give it to more than one person. We'll see. All right, you guys. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you again tomorrow for budgeting. Budget. Let's create a budget. But it's not like you think it is. It's going to be fun. So make sure you come back. Okay? Don't run away just because you heard the word budget. It's all good. I'm going to show y'all how to budget for your business and actually learn how to pay yourself as a small business owner. So come back tomorrow. We're going to talk budget.